Whoa, whoa, what's going on here? I'm way too tall today. There we go. All right, how's everyone doing? It is Coach K here. Just got to get the screens all set up. They obviously are not set up properly right now. Just give me 1 second and we'll get started. So how's everyone today? How are you guys doing? There we are. Okay, we're going to start up with the Pomp. We're going to make this go back down to size. Something's wrong with my computer today. Sorry about that, everyone. I can hear myself speaking. Alright, good stuff. Okay, so if you are watching on YouTube, I'm going to tell you what we're going to go over today so that you know, and it's really important that you know because otherwise you wouldn't watch. So let's get started here. Let's see who's here. Brian, Anian, and anyone else that's watching. Great to have you here. Don't forget to smash up likes, subscribe, share, etc. Now, before we get into more detail, I just want to tell you, why are you here today? Today we're going to talk about what actually happened over the weekend and what to expect in the markets. So make sure that you stay to the end and you make sure that you don't miss anything out. I will be doing XRP predictions, BTC, Ethereum, and also be talking about what Pomp said yesterday about, obviously having half of his money in Bitcoin, which is a lot. Also my prediction on what's going to happen this week with BNB, which is really important. I have some good fundamental news that's coming and you may want not to miss that just because it's a pretty big deal what's coming. So we're just going to get right into that today. I hope everyone had a great weekend. If you're worried about the market, chill. It's always going to be okay. Just play it the way you want and you'll be good to go. All right, so I'll just get right into what we're doing here today. If you're watching on YouTube, do send a comment, say hello. I'm not going to answer as many questions and things on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook and watching this, guys, do jump into the YouTube channel for chat because I'm going to answer more from that chat itself. Nice to see you, Ross and Lily and everyone else that's watching today. If you don't have the video link, I'm going to post it in the comments on Facebook so that you guys can jump in on YouTube and I will answer you over there. So let's jump on. Nino, nice to see you. Okay, first things first. Pompliano had a really cool interview with Dan Runer, and I saw this earlier. It was pretty cool. Bill, thanks a lot, man. I hope you enjoyed that Matic video. That's great. ETH, please don't dump. How's it going, Masters? Well, we're gonna definitely have a lot of great stuff that's gonna happen, and or we might have a nice correction, but this is a good thing for some other coins. So let's jump in what that actually means. Now, crypto trader Anthony Pompliano is obviously super well respected and a big proponent of Bitcoin. He was talking to Dan Runer the other day and said that actually half of his wealth is in cryptocurrencies, which is really crazy. What you guys might see on my screen right here is in Bitcoin values. This is because I'm using this really cool plugin up top called Token Ticker. So if you ever want to get on a really cool plugin to show you all the prices in Bitcoin value based off of USD, use that and it's a pretty cool tool. Now, what does this mean? He thinks that we're going to have a parabolic run. Interesting stuff. HST decision token. I'll go into that, Paul. Definitely nice to see you and have you on the show. Okay, where we're going here is this. Pompliano thinks we're going to hit $100,000 by December 2021, basically in about a year, 2 years or so. So that's pretty interesting. Nah, clear poll. Oh, that's an interesting one as well. Now, what I think is going to happen is, and I agree with him, that we're going to hit that range, but we're going to have like obviously some primary and secondary markets within there. We're going to have corrections like we saw over the weekend and last week, and they're going to come, but I think this correction is going to go further, but that's a good thing. And let me tell you why when we get to the charts a little bit later. So don't leave, don't go anywhere so you don't miss any of that stuff. Obviously, I'm going to get into deeper reasons why that's pretty awesome, and we're going to look at that deeper. Now, Bitcoin market cap topped to $2 trillion, very possible. Honestly, if you compare Bitcoin's market cap to any other major, economic financial security, etc. Where we go gold, where we go to gold, or we go to dollars, or we go to real estate. It's a blip. $2 trillion. Gold itself has like 7 or 8 trillion, I believe, last I checked. So there's a lot of money there, and so that's something also to take note of. Now, if you guys have any questions about any of the fundamental stuff, do let me know. This is a really interesting one. So just to point this out, it's pretty important. CZ said careful what you wish for last time, and the thing that he said last time to careful what you wish for is pretty interesting, because what he said was careful what you wish for when he was talking about the stable coin. Okay, that was the first thing that he talked about. The second thing that CZ talked about, which is really interesting, is he said that basically we're going to have this guy came out and said we should burn part of the team tokens to stop this big FUD around the unlock. So obviously there's no dump on the investors. CZ then again says careful what you wish for. What he probably means is that also is beneficial to the people in the team that have them too. So if there's less for them, they're still going to be worth more because there's going to be less supply. So it's quite an interesting concept that this guy has, Lewis CFM on Twitter. So we'll see if that actually comes true. But it's really interesting. What's my view on Nash? It can be something really huge and groundbreaking. I totally agree, Bill. Nash is going to be huge because even though Binance has Binance US, they only have the legal right to trade in California, I believe, as of right now. Of course, they're going to work on others, but Nash actually has the real can actually trade in all 51 states, I believe it is in the US. I'm not US, so don't judge me. So I think it's 50 states. Sorry, that was embarrassing. Anyway, in the US, you can trade everywhere with Nash, but you can't trade everywhere with Binance.us. So this is something to take note of. And Nash is a pretty cool exchange. A lot of people were pumping it to me like over the bear market and saying it was going to be really great. So yeah, something to definitely check out, especially if you're one of the people in the US that are going to be affected by this whole Binance US, Binance.com issue. HST token has a major contract with the New Zealand government and South Africa, Australian government voting on the blockchain. That's really great. I actually love this idea. I've been saying for Thailand, I live here, and I've been saying for all elections really since we had the whole Donald Trump issue with the election. I was teaching in a class and saying like, why don't they put this on the blockchain? You know, and if they'd put this on the blockchain, all this noise around the Trump election would have been gone. So that's something quite interesting to take note of, right? So guys, if you're watching on Facebook, jump on over to YouTube, subscribe, like, and take part of the AMA, ask questions. This is your floor. If you're on Twitter, same deal. Now, getting on to what CZ said, I want to add a little piece of this for you, and it's pretty interesting stuff that you may want to know. CZ is doing something that's pretty interesting, and I'm going to show you guys through his own profile on Twitter why I say that. Okay, so he said yesterday at some point, he retweeted a tweet that I had commented on. I don't know if I can find it really easily, but it's quite interesting. In that tweet, there's one of the crypto influencers starts talking about the 7 ways that Bitcoin basically, or BNB is going to basically pump right here, this one. So the Crypto King comes out and says, solution for US traders, a coin burn around the corner, a DEX and volume exchange, a Binance chain, more utility in BTC, seriously, IEO tickets, reduced fees, number 8. And then I wrote, you forgot the biggest one, 2nd of July, margin trading activated. You heard it here first. That was on July 30th in the morning. I said that. And people were saying like, how the hell do you know that? It's just a really strong hunch that I have. And the reason why I have this really strong hunch is because here's the thing, okay? And I'll break it down on why I have this hunch, okay? CZ actually retweeted this after I wrote that. And that's something super bullish because he usually says, be careful what you wish for and all this stuff. He said it after I did that. So that's something really interesting. HST for elections, clear poll for pre-election, perfect. Match made in heaven, I would agree. And I really like that. So altcoins are about to rally. I absolutely am going to get onto that. But yes, that's exactly where I was going with Bitcoin kind of dumping a little bit and now kind of finding some stability, which is all good in my mind. And should probably also be all good in yours. So getting on to this, we want to talk a little bit about here what we're seeing. So I don't know if you guys know, but Sparkster Connect full out happened, and basically Sparkster's worth $0 and 0 cents. What an epic fail. We have some that are on the fence of being like even, break even, Lynx and Bitstack. Bitstack is kind of a it's kind of been a disappointment. Their volume's low. I feel kind of like their team has let us down. Interesting. Ampleforth's really cool. This morning, actually, they had Ampleforth has this thing where it multiplies your tokens, and so basically if you had 2.1x today, you have 4.2x because they gave you a whole batch of new tokens, and it's kind of how it works. It gets bigger and bigger, the amount of tokens, so that's interesting. SCP had a lot of really big FUD, but it's been performing like crazy, and Harmony we know has won. It's done really well. Now, last thing before we get into charts, this is insane. Welcome, Matthew. Nice to see you, Matthew Cheney. If you're watching this, just click on the link a little bit above and join us on YouTube, and just comment in there. Now, here's something insane. Bitcoin alone, or BitMEX alone, has literally traded $1 trillion in the last year. That is huge. People thought this industry was dead, but in the last 365 days, $1 trillion. The last 30 days, $164 billion. Insane, right? So you think about all that and you go, well, maybe it isn't so bad. Maybe the market's fine, and it is. And I'm going to jump into why that actually is a fact. Let's jump into the market. Okay, I have about 50K on HST decision token. Bitcoin dominance is about to fall. Great. Altcoin run. Yes. Let's jump into the actual charts, because this is what most people join us for, honestly. They want to see what's going to happen in the charts, and they want someone to explain it to them. So that's what I'm here to do today. Let's talk about what happens in the charts. So over the weekend, we saw quite a big dump. I mean, we hit this on the 26th of June. It was like my birthday present here, almost 14K. And then the next day it was like, see you later and bye-bye, and dropped all the way to 10.3. Now, that's okay. Great buying opportunity if you'd ask me. Now, what we saw after that was on Sunday, we had Saturday, we had a little bit of a rebound. Sorry, Monday. On Friday, we had a rebound, and then we had this dump over the weekend. And it's kind of funny because Arthur Hayes was saying like, yeah, dump, you short on the weekend and you open on Monday and you guys get wrecked. It's kind of the opposite now. So I kind of find that humorous that he kind of maybe baited all the CME traders and got them all wrecked if they did really big short or long positions, sorry, over the last weekend, because obviously there was a huge gap when they opened, and I'll show you that right here. When they opened today, they closed at 12.6. I think it was almost 12.5, something like that, 12.55, and they opened today with a gap down of about $1,000. So that was a huge gap, but we had really big gaps the last couple weeks. Here's one, here's another. So not the end of the world, but definitely something that could potentially hurt a little bit for some people. Now, if you guys have questions about any, if you guys would like, comment right now into coins, and even if you're watching this later, comment in the comment section for me and ask me what you would like me to look at in terms of projects, okay? Because I'd happily go through them. Okay, now drop an ETH chart. Drop us an ETH chart, Joel. 275 levels seem like resistance, flip support. However, it seems to be following the BTC. ETH has been following BTC the whole time. Now I'm going to jump into actually total market cap first. So our total market cap from the top, we've declined a ton, other than the that little blip that there was there. We've declined about $863 million over the weekend, or from the top. So that was a nice little correction, a correction of in total market cap actually of about 22%. It definitely can go down to this level right here where we have the Kijun at 28, and it could go even lower than that. So that's something also to look at, and Bitcoin dominance as well. Obviously, we have to look at that. So nice to see you, Matt, on here. So Bitcoin dominance obviously just keeps rising and rising and rising and rising, right? And here's the thing: it's risen, but we've kind of seen it kind of stagnate, and we see the Bitcoin dominance is starting to drop. Usually, that signifies that altcoins will start to move. But it is corn, and Bitcoin does rule all, so don't ever count it out. But I'm going to show you some technical analysis on Bitcoin itself to look at what we're seeing here. Now, let's look on a larger macro scale. So we're going to go to this swing low down here. It's a little bit off. Okay. So where can we come down to? A lot of people say 9.5, and it correlates really nicely to the my line of support right here, or it should be support. It's not the right color. Sorry about that. So my line of support right here, this nice green line, it also coincides nicely with the Kijun. So as you see, the Kijun's actually looking a little bit higher than that now. So maybe a 9.8 realistically, which is a good thing. But we keep having like this. We still have a downward momentum, and we definitely could be bouncing from this $10,570 range. It's touched it a couple times. So we have to keep our eye on that. But where could we potentially go as well as something that you want to know. So are we going to go down? Could we go up a little bit more again? So let's take a look at where we could potentially see us move to in the near future. So that's a nice swing low. There we go. Boom. All right. So let's look at where we could go. Oh, before the weekend, I did say we could go down to 10.8, and that was really darn close. We hit 10.9, I believe, or actually even less than that. So that wasn't so bad here. Hold on a second. Okay, so where could we go now? We could definitely bounce in this zone off the Tenkan. It's trying to hold it, but it's kind of not really there. We could close in this area and move up. It's something that I don't expect to happen, to be honest, but it's very possible, being corn, that we get back to this level. And very more likely, I think, if we did get there, we're going to test this Tenkan, which is, or sorry, this Kijun right here, this line right there, or we're going to come down and actually, sorry about that, and actually test this support line around 9,500. Can I check EOS? Absolutely, Jordan. Definitely. Jordan, if you're watching, click on the link a little bit above. Join us on Facebook, or on YouTube, sorry. Okay, that's one of the scenarios. Now, corn being corn, it could also do the opposite and break through here and lead towards testing that high to make a double top. But double tops generally take a lot longer than a couple days. They usually take a couple weeks. So I would expect it far more likely for us to come down and to consolidate. And I think honestly, until September or so, we probably would see it kind of range. I saw Omar Bam, he also wrote that too, and I agree with him that we could definitely range between this level for a couple months, so coming up and down within this level. And what ranging means is the market doesn't really move up or down a lot. It kind of just comes like, it goes like down and up and down and up and down and up. It kind of doesn't really move anywhere. So we could see that as a very high possibility of happening. So just keep that in mind, that you would have to play support and resistance within that zone. Okay, so Bitcoin, that's what it's doing right now. Let's go on to Ethereum and look at that. Where did Ethereum go? There it is. All right, so Ethereum, let's see where she's doing. Okay, so with ETH, we had this this tweezer bottom here on the daily. We had this nice blow up, and then it's kind of been following Bitcoin. But here what you see is it's broken below the Tenkan line, our Tenkan, which is our first line of support on Ichimoku on the daily. Let's see where we could potentially go with Ethereum, down or up. All right, so Ethereum has a couple levels of support. I was talking about this as resistance and support last week. So that's the first level. Here's our second level. So that would be an area where it could bounce around 263. And the next level after that would be the top of the cloud, which would be around 230. And the next level above, below that would be around here, which is around, it's kind of following very nicely with our Fibonacci around 198. Okay. Lie to me, Joel, and say it's going to 550. 550 is a huge stretch away. We're looking more not like that's gonna happen anytime soon, but it could happen. You know, it's just not gonna happen now. What I expect to happen on the shorter term, probably bounce off this level here and stick within this 318 range. And if we do somehow bounce down again, we could either go down here or we could move up to this level at 364 and test it. But I think, like I said, much less likely for us to go back up that fast, but it all depends on the market. And I think with Ethereum, it's not the same as Bitcoin. It usually pumps a little bit more, and its price compared to Bitcoin right now is a lot different. XRP's coming, Ben. I'll be doing that after this one. So we have a couple options of where we could go. You just have to watch and basically see, but I'm much more expecting for us to test this Kijun right here, because it's a really strong 50% retrace support, which you can kind of see right here. It coincides with that as well. And so that would be around 263. And if you're holding, guys, it should come back up. So I'm not really too concerned about it. With ETH having staking coming, it should definitely be a positive event for Ethereum. So that's where we're looking. Very likely coming down a little bit further, but potentially with a bounce back up to 318 on a shorter term. But that's more of a prediction than anything else to test the Tenkin. Now, if we break out of the Tenkin, if we get over this line, these little dots, which would be a part of this line, which is the Tenkin, we could see that the Tenkin sign could bring us above and over to this area. But more likely, we're going to go down and test this area right here. Okay, now let's move on to XRP prediction. Quantum, do you still think it'll go through the cloud? Oh, let me check you out. I will tell you in a second. So moving on to XRP. I don't know why it's not on my list here, but let's just do this here. All right, so XRP, how we looking? It's starting to recover a little bit. It's not looking very good, and I kind of warned everyone that it would be like till October for us to really see where XRP was going to go, but I'll give you a shorter term prediction. Good morning, Joe. Why does XRP have so many banks still down? I'm lost. All right, so XRP kind of controls XRP without anyone really knowing it. Just keep that in mind. And the thing is, on the US dollar side, it's not actually losing any funds. So if you're looking at it from a bank perspective, they don't care about Bitcoin really. They care about US dollar, and XRP being 41 or 42 cents is more than it was at the start of the year. So in their minds as a bank, they don't care about that. So that could be one aspect to also consider. Looking at, it's not really looking so great over here, honestly. We're looking at, okay, if that is support down there at 337, we got a long way back up. Sorry, it's just not looking so great, to be honest. But here's the thing, we could bounce off this and come back down. I do think that XRP is undervalued, but the thing is, you know, it's got a lot of room to grow, and I don't think the people in XRP are pushing the price very much. So that's something also to consider. Let's look at a shorter time frame to see where it might be going. It's trying to head towards the cloud here. We can see it. We can see it trying to head towards the cloud. If it does get into the cloud, it could do an edge to edge, but again, the cloud isn't really big. The movement would not be very strong. I don't see XRP versus BTC going very far at this point. I think it's going to chill until we see the new year, not the new year, but probably end of October, early November. And if you've been watching me for a while, that's what I've been saying for quite some time now. Now, looking against the US dollar, it's a completely different perspective. We're at 40 cents. I mean, we look at when we started the year, and XRP's done great since the start of the year. December, we had a pump, and then really, like, it was 30 cents and it's now 40 cents. We definitely hit 50 cents, which is where I said my target was for it in the short term before October. And so I believe that we're probably on this retrace, and it'll probably range, like I was saying with Bitcoin. We're gonna see this, like, this range probably between this price and here quite some time until it starts to break out of that. But in the shorter term, we just don't really look like we're moving anywhere yet. Okay, so XRP will have its time. It will be closer to the end of the year, but I do still like XRP, and I have no problem with it. It's just kind of been whipsawed a lot. Like, look at the box that it's in right here. If we go to the very top here and we draw a box down to the bottom of the very bottom, we're not really moving very much here. We're looking at a range of 25-30%, so it's gonna stick in this box for a little bit longer. I'm gonna assume until we hit the we're probably gonna stick in that box for at least 2 more months. So look at the ranging, but expect for a trend to still continue kind of up, but really slowly up, something like that, until we get to October. And then if Bitcoin is doing what I expect Bitcoin to do in October, which is pump, then we'll start to see everything else come into XRP. Now, jumping into one more that I wanted to show you guys, this is a play that I have been looking at on the 3-day chart. So people are like, what, 3 days? 3-day charts can be very accurate, okay? So we jumped in on this one just recently. I'm just going to show you this So we're looking at an edge to edge on TNT. So what I look for an edge to edge trade is A, it's at least on the 4 hour, and B, usually a day or more, and it's more accurate. So we jumped into this trade around here, which was around 551 sats, and we're now around we're nicely up already on this trade, about 6-7%. I'm expecting to go from this edge to this edge, so we're going to go to edge. What you look for is the close inside of the cloud. So it closed inside here, it crossed the Kijun, right? So we have a Kijun breakout and a potential edge-to-edge trade on the cloud. So this is a nice 50% trade, entering at 551 and looking toward getting out potentially at 550.54%, but very much so could go somewhere above that. You know, it could push the envelope. So we have to see. It's one of the coins that even Tiki Tiwara said it was undervalued. So something to keep your eye on. TNT, CDT, another one edge to edge that I drew up just the other day, and now it's looking to test another zone on the edge to edge here. So on the 1 day, I've been looking at this and eyed it. If you're in my group, t.me Athena Project, click in there and you guys can see me in there. And I said to some of my guys, like, we should probably enter out here. It completed this edge to edge right here from one to the other. Doesn't look like a lot on the daily, guys, but look at that. That's a 20% almost. And then it came back down to tweezer bottom, which is a really bullish signal for me. And then it just exploded today, another 60-70%. Actually, it's more than that from the very bottom. We wouldn't have caught the bottom of this, honestly, but you don't need to. That's the whole point. You don't really need to. So 80% in a day, in a few hours, basically, it actually happened. And now on the 2-day chart, here's something interesting to look at. We're starting to enter into this. So we have another opportunity for an edge to edge. If it closes where it is right now, I will be entering this trade. Okay, which means if it closes above 247 sats today at the end of the day, or the end of the 2 days, I don't believe I can't remember which day it is. It might be today or tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. If it closes in the cloud, I will enter a trade at the top wherever the candle closes and look to do another 30% edge to edge trade. So it's kind of nice. Spanish. Oh, it's okay, dude. You can understand the chart though, right? Now, any other questions or concerns, things that you'd like me to go over? I don't think HST has, let me just check. Oh, it does have it. There we go, on Bittrex. So on Bittrex, it's still kind of new. Let me look on a shorter time frame here to see if I can see anything. All right, so it's kind of looking for recovery. It definitely had a very big downtrend from its inception, almostly, and it had a nice spike over there, and then it's been on a downtrend ever since. Did we see an edge to edge here? We did see an edge to edge trade right there, which was a nice 30%, and ever since it's kind of been on this downtrend, using the Kijun-san as as a form of resistance, which we can see here, and now the Tenkan as well. But here's what we're looking for. I look for a cross breakout of here, and we're looking for a TK cross on a larger time frame. I don't usually trade on short time frames because what you end up seeing, too much whipsawing and stuff like that in there. So it's much better to trade on a higher time frame, guys, if you ever are. Okay, now let's go into Matic and see what Matic's doing. I made a really cool video with I interviewed Sandeep Nailwal from Matic, their COO, and it was a really cool interview that we had. And I think that Matic is also right now in a position for an edge to edge, and I'm eyeing it because it could hit this 233, 235 range. And they have a lot of really bullish news, especially with all the partnerships they're about to come out with. So keep your eyes on that. EOS, thank you very much for reminding me. So it's been on a really, really big downtrend, kind of tricking people. I still hold my EOS. I'm not really worried about it. It crossed the Tenkan-sen, which is good. Long-term outlet, though, it kind of was obvious, being a social network, that we were going to see something like this type of correction happen. Corrected 50%. Which probably is the end of that correction, especially if Bitcoin is now done with its push, and we should start seeing alt season now. Now it's kind of not really doing too much, to be completely honest. Let's look at our extension here to see where it could go. Hasn't really done very much here. on a shorter time span, we're looking at this 1.414 is a usually good place to go. And here's what I'm noticing as well. If we get to that 1.414, we likely will enter this cloud. And if this cloud stays as big of a resistance, because it's only 30 periods ahead, we could see it go through that cloud and edge to edge. So that's a very possible thing that could happen, Drew. It's a good question that you have. So look for that to happen. Look for it to happen on high time frames as well, but you won't see very much on that at this point. So I would use the 4-hour as another indicator where you could look. Delete that, it's kind of hard to see. So we're looking for it to jump up towards this range, either around here maybe would be a realistic time. And if it does get to there and close in the cloud, we could even go higher. So let's keep our eyes on it. Joe, do I think the next bull run will be Q4 or 2020? My thoughts are, we have the halving in 2020. We already have started the bull run. Just so you know, this is the bull run. You already are in it, guys. I've been saying since April, we're in a bull run. We're going to start the bull run in April, and we're going to keep going with the bull run. So if you're worried if we're in a bull run or not, let me just show you something really quick to ease your mind. I'm going to zoom out to the weekly here. Can you tell me what you see? Let me just turn off my indicator. Let me turn off the Ichimoku. Let me show you with naked price action. Do you tell me, do you think that's a bull run? Because I sure as hell think this is a bull run. Regardless of this nasty candle right here, I think that we're definitely in a bull run. And yeah, shooting star is right there, so we could come down and test. That's why I have this 8,300 range. Very likely, I'd even push that up a little bit now and call it 85. But then we have the 95 right here, which is another area. So if you're looking at it as well, you can just put another line right about here at about 95, 96. Those are the two areas I'm looking at. Now think about this. That and that was lines of this was a line of resistance once, and that was, we went from 30 we went from April right here, right as April started, and we went up 173%. So you got to expect for us to drop. That was just completely normal. Now we're going to see Bitcoin dominance like this guy right here. You look it up, BTCD. We're going to see a drop. We're going to see this drop, not like this is a glitch obviously in the chart. We're going to see it drop like it did here. So Bitcoin dominance in December started to drop against altcoins because alt season started, and we're not at the same level as we were when alt season happened that time, but you know, we did jump up from here till the top about 34% in Bitcoin dominance, and now with all the altcoins we still jumped up 20%. Very likely we will see altcoin season start soon, and it either already started or it's coming. So if you're worried about it, just chill. Everything's going to be perfect. Any other questions or concerns? Any questions about coins that you'd like? I'll show you another one that I'm looking at right now on the daily that I think could be very interesting. Let me turn on the Ichimoku cloud so you can see why I'm saying it's interesting. All right, so if this closes in the cloud, this is my setup. So I'm going to show you this now. Parbium. All right, so it's a beautiful setup. Our risk to reward ratio is 8.46 on this trade, so this would be a really nice long-term trade. I'm just going to move this out of the way so you can see. What I'm expecting for is this to close inside of the cloud. So right here, we have to get this we have to close in this area, right where I have this. You see how it says crossing 1139? So once we get to 1139 and we close there, I'm going to enter a trade, and this trade has the potential to go at very least 80%, and we're on a daily, so that could take 30 days. So I'm all about the longer term charts here, guys. The longer your time frame, the less BS that you're going to have in between, the less emotion. You're thinking longer term with the trend is your friend, okay? And look at TNT, just as I was talking about it, it's already pumping out. It's already moving again. So that one's looking really good. Already at 597. So we're gonna see that move, man. And that's what I'm excited for. What coin is that? So two coins, guys. XZC, so Zcoin, and also keep your eyes on TNT. Both of those are coins that I'm eyeing right now. I'm already in TNT. It's not too late, but it's a little bit later than you'd want to get into it, but that's okay. It would have been better to buy on this pullback in touch of the Kijun at 518 or so, which was a couple days ago, I believe, but that's okay. You're still not going to be hurting if you get into this. It's a long-term trade, has a 2.9 R, so if you got it now, your R would just go in, your R would just change up a little bit. If it lets me do this, I will do that for you. So your R would now be from 2.9 to 2.54. So you're not going to be doing too bad, honestly. So don't worry about it that much. You could still make a nice return on your investment if you go into that one. It's not financial advice, obviously, but it is something that I'm looking at. Another one I'm looking at right now is Wabi. It's definitely bottomed out really hard. Just look on the daily. Super bottomed out. It had a huge run up, just like Basic Attention Token, another one I'm looking at, and it dropped. We're talking like 80%. That was a really nice correction for that coin, and it definitely can move on an uptrend. Not yet, it hasn't really gone, and I don't have like crazy indicators to tell you what to buy or not buy right now, but it has crossed it's gone across the Tenkin, and it's going towards the Kijun. If it breaks through the Kijun, it could do an edge to edge as well, getting up 60, 70, 80%. So that's something nice to keep in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you today. I will leave you guys at that. If you like this video, do subscribe, like, and share it. Another thing that you can do to help out the channel is comment. So if you're watching this video, send out some comments, say if you liked it, and if there's anything that you would like me to do, for example, a review, an interview, anything like that that I can try to set up, do let me know, and I can try to get those things done for you as well. And definitely, if it's a coin review, I will start doing every Monday, Wednesday, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'll be doing like 5-minute coin reviews of a project I think are going to do really well, and I'll be posting them for all of you guys to comment, share, like, learn about, and so on. So lots more educational stuff's coming your way from myself. It was really great having you guys all here today, and if you have any questions and things that you would like me to go over, do not hesitate to throw them in the comment box of this video. I will definitely read all of them, like them, etc. So all you guys have a great day. It's Coach K signing out, and my new thing is listen with your eyes, not with your ears. Okay? What does that mean? Just to revive it, it means don't listen to what people tell you about the market. Use your eyes and look at the charts and let it tell you, or read, do your own research. Have a good day, everybody. Coach K signing out.